All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about CRO, crypto.com, Chronos, all right, whatever you guys like to call the coin. Personally, I like Chronos. I want to get into some reasons as to why I believe 95 cents to a dollar is the target overall, and then talk about what we could expect after the all-time high is met. But before I get into the technicals, I just want to give just some fundamentals as to why I think Chronos is going to be a big player. First things first, when it comes to centralized exchanges, to me, crypto.com is just way better than Coinbase. I believe that crypto.com can overtake Coinbase simply because Coinbase is absolute dog crap, just from the way they treat their customer service, like customers. It's very difficult to actually get an account unlocked. And that's another thing, the random locking of customer accounts, the randomness of locking how long I'm allowed to move money off of your website, or how long, if at all, that I can get my funds off of your exchange. I just think it's ridiculous how Coinbase runs their business. And it's sad that they still stand as one of the top exchanges in the US to use. So I think if crypto.com can continue to strive to not rob people, they're going to be in this game for a long time. I also think that crypto.com is a really good company and coin to hold because of the commitment that they made to America. Crypto.com buys naming rights to the Lakers Staples Center in a $700 million deal. Okay, this is not something you just get up and walk away from. It's a 20-year contract where they just completely changed the name of the Staples Center to crypto.com. You guys see their branding everywhere now. So I think they are here to stay for a long time. And this is why I support them. I have a crypto.com account. I have KYC'd with them, and I support them. I support moves like this in the crypto space. What I do not support is when I purchase X amount of crypto and now my account is locked, or when I cannot get a hold of somebody in customer service that's willing to even know that I am who I am so that I can get my account unlocked. It doesn't happen. Coinbase, I'm just not with it, okay? So before I get into the technicals, I just wanted to give you that, and let's break some things down here as to why things look really good for the Chronos token. Other than that, last thing about fundamentals, Chronos is, crypto.com's coin, Chronos, CRO, it has a use case. It's not just another coin that you can just send to anybody and you just do transactions back and forth, okay? Their token has a purpose, right? So you have the multiple tiers of crypto debit cards, and if you lock up a certain amount of CRO, you can get an annual yield, as well as various rewards on, I think, like cashback rewards, hotel rewards, restaurant rewards. I think all of that is really cool. They're bringing functionality to their token and overall to the crypto space. So I really, really support things like that. All right, love to see that. So in conjunction with us being in a bull market and then having crypto.com really striving to be the face of centralized exchanges, right? I can tell that they want to be on that top 3, top 5 list of every website that you search, best crypto exchange USA. They want to be there. So let's talk about some technical. And I'm going to start out on the 6-month chart. The very first thing I noticed is it's very obvious, and I'm using the Bitstamp chart, just trying to get as much. I'm sorry, not Bitstamp. This is the crypto.com chart, right? Because it's their coin, so I'm using their exchange for price history. Okay, so according to crypto.com, their all-time high was 93 cents. Okay, some exchanges I saw was showing $1, but we're gonna just use 93 cents. All right. Now, the first thing I noticed on this 6-month chart is in the past, we had this very small but visible sell side inefficiency right here. And you can see how price just went into that. And the first candle closed just above. Second candle was quite volatile, but we closed near the open. So a lot of indecision here. But this current candle that we're in did something very special. I really like how we cleaned the board, to say. And what I mean by that is we just took out the previous range low and high of the previous 6-month candle here. Okay, so if I draw that out, you have the high and the low of the candle's previous range, and we just wiped that clean, right? Took out all the liquidity underneath, and then took it out at the high. What makes this special is what came first. Did we take out the high first or the low first? That matters. All right. So if I drop down to the 3-month chart, you can see these lines represent previous candles range, high and low. And you can see just by reading left to right, if this marks the high of previous 6-month candle, this marks the low of the previous 6-month candle. Look at how it happened. We went down first and swept the low and then went higher to sweep the high. This is really good because overall we now have a clear stair step towards higher prices, right? I really like to see this. Okay. Now what can we look at to add on to that? Well, on this chart, the 3-month, we have a couple things happening here. We had a sell side imbalance here on the sell side right here. Now normally a sell side gap should keep price down. It should push it lower. But in the same area, we had a bullish gap. All right. So we had a little bit of discrepancy between who's going to take control of the market in this area. This right here, price pushes up, closes right inside this bearish area, right? This is a bearish argument for lower prices. Look at how we disrespected on the very next candle by closing well beyond this gap right here. Once we made this swing high, price retraces into this 3-month buy side imbalance. So bullish gap work in the opposite of bearish gaps. A bullish gap will support price. And you can see that's exactly what happens here. We went below previous 6-month range low, as well as entered into a buy side imbalance. We formed a swing low inside of this key level and exited bullish. This is really, really powerful for higher prices. So if I just remove this line and just zoom out just a little bit, if you look just to the left, you can see this massive space right here. This is another sell side imbalance, but this is nothing to worry about, and I'll show you why. I'll make this red to represent selling pressure, right? Not pressure, but selling activity would happen in here. You see how price went into this? What's important is the first touch. This is not the first touch of this imbalance. It's actually here. So you can see we formed the gap after this candle closed. This is the bottom of that gap. This candle right here, January 1st, 2024. This candle was the first touch of this imbalance. This candle gave us a confirmed swing high, okay? You cannot get a swing high unless you have 3 candles. You need a high, higher high, lesser high, right? So you want to see the formation like this, formation like that, out of 3 candles, okay? And we did not get that until this candle had to close. Because of that, this gap should have kept price down. It should have pushed price lower if it was going to do its job. So essentially, it would look like this. Price would come in and give us a new stair step down past this low. And you'd have price looking like this, like that. But that did not happen because instead it was the bullish narrative that was in play. So you have the bullish narrative here, bearish narrative here. The size of the gap does not dictate which one is stronger. And I want to make that very clear because these higher time frames, you're going to see gaps in places, right? A lot of places. Size does not play a part in who wins. It's where the liquidity is. It's narrative, liquidity, bull market. A lot of narratives, a lot of variables play out on who takes control. But the thing is, in this situation, when you have crypto.com making this strong commitment to be the face of central exchanges, when you have Bitcoin in a bull market, when you have market participants who need on-ramping, right? They want to turn their US dollars, they want to use their debit cards, they want to use the money they make at their jobs to get crypto. All of that points towards the bullish narrative following through. And you can see that right here. Look at how this candle reaches into this gap and then closes outside of it. That's respect. We are respecting this gap. The next candle, watch the reaction. Look at this. We don't even come down to take out this low. We get the formation of a swing low here. Now we still need to wait for this candle to close, right? We need December to close because until December closes, we don't have a confirmed swing low here. Anything can still happen, right? Price can come back down and take out the previous candle's low. Do I think that's going to happen? No. But I'm telling you this as something to look out for is right now, we need price to close in December. We need price to close above 15 cents. It needs to close above 15 cents. This is going to give us a nice order block where we can find support for the next leg higher. And it'll look like this. Let's say we close right where we are. Anticipate a pullback onto the bodies of these candles. Now price can pull back within the range of these two down closed candles and still be bullish. So it could pull back here or all the way here and still find a leg higher. As long as we're in the range of these two down closed candles right here, this is all buying opportunity, okay? And you'd be anticipating price to be supported by these down closed candles. Now I'm gonna head down to the monthly. Let's see what we got, any new structure there to work off of. Okay, perfect. So on the monthly time frame, we also have this sell side imbalance that we just recently reached into. And this is where some turbulence is gonna happen, right? You can see right here, after we took out previous candles, right? Remember, this is the 6-month high. All right, and I'm gonna show you that one more time. Let's go back to the 6 month. All right, and I'm just gonna draw a line representing the 6-month high of the previous candle. Going back to the monthly, here's that high. After taking out the 6-month high, we reach right into this area of inefficiency. Look at the reaction. This is completely normal, okay? So price is now respecting this gap as of the time of this video. Here's what we wanna see. Over the next 25 days, I want to see price close above 15 cents on the monthly time frame as well. That's going to give us a lot of support. All of these down closed candles are going to be looked at as support, because if a big pullback comes in, it needs to be held in this range. If price starts to come back down here below 6.5 cents, at that point I'd be concerned. And if you're holding CRO, you can buy, but the structure becomes not so great for higher prices. All right, in here is good. After that, we want to anticipate price to start cutting through this imbalance. So this is a level that you can put on your charts. Put this monthly level on your charts between April 2022 and June 2022. That space is what you want to see price cut through. This is the largest area of resistance left before all-time high. And here's what I mean. If you look, this line up here is all-time high at 93 cents. But if I drop down to the weekly, we don't really have any other areas of inefficiency to worry about. There's a small one here, but it's a part of the monthly level. And I could even go as far as to do this little level right here will be the last thing that you really have to worry about. Upon price getting up into this, there's going to be some turbulence. Watch out for the reaction. It's going to look very similar to what you're looking at now. It'll come in, you'll see a little bit of sell-off, but as soon as we start to cut through this, there is nothing left to stop price from going past 94 cents. Here's what you want to understand. All of the selling that happened from way over here back in 2021, all of the shorting that happened in here, stop losses are all above those entry points. So every time a seller jumped in, their stop loss went above their entry. Okay, the people who could nail the top, right, insiders, whatever you want to call them, their stop losses are up here above this liquidity pool right here. Because when you enter a short, the books tell you to look for a logical level of support or resistance to put your risk above. Put your stop loss at an area it's likely to come back to. Well, they're looking at this very obvious swing high. Okay, as price drops, they're going to trail. They'll start trailing above this high, trailing above this high, trailing above these highs. All along these highs, you got stop losses all up and through here. Okay, as price starts to make its way back up, it's seeking that resting liquidity, because not everybody is going to close their position. Deep pockets are not closing their positions all because they're in this run of profit. All right, so the most of the liquidity sits above this high. As price makes its way back up, it's hitting those levels of liquidity, those buy stops, right? Buy stop losses. Because if you're in the market as a seller, the only way you get out is a buy order. It's the opposite. The other thing is, as price breaks highs, you have traders doing breakout trading, right? They're hopping in long positions. That also is going to push the price higher. So as price gets up here in the 90 cent range, it's unlikely going to stop here. In order to hit the liquidity, it has to go through this swing high. All right, this is why I see Kronos going above $1. After it gets up here, this is price discovery. All right, I have no foresight on what the top is going to be, where it's going to go. I'm strictly looking at the technicals based off of structure that we have in front of us. there is a lot of room for growth right now for Chronos. I mean, we're down here and I'm expecting price to go way up here. All right. So at the time of this video, we're currently at 18.5 cents, and I can see it going to at least $1.01. All right, on this chart, right? I don't know what the all-time high actually is for CRO. Like I said, other exchanges have hit $1, but I can see this going above previous all-time high based off of the structure. And so all I'd be looking for, again, one more time, I want to see December close above 15 cents. We need that. From there, a pullback is completely normal. After that pullback, or if there is a pullback, you need to see price begin to cut through this level of inefficiency, that gray box. You need to see price make its way through that. Ideally, it looked like a mirror. See how we have these big bearish candles going down? Ideally, you want to see big bullish candles going right up. From there, once we make it through this, it's butter to a new all-time high. That's my analysis for Chronos. I hope you enjoyed this. And as we hit these levels, I will do an update. All right. See you in the next one.